Awesome. I'll wait till like the intro screen. Damn, feels good to be back.
Yeah. It's been a little while.
Yes.
Oh, Australia. We're having like a proper start here. How far away are you from the track?
Like half an hour drive.
Oh, have you gone? I've never actually asked you that.
What, have I gone onto the track or just watched the race there?
Watch the race.
No, I haven't.
F1.
I want to, but I haven't yet. But you can actually, majority of the track you can just drive on.
Yeah.
And I actually played cricket there the other day. Oh, like the past weekend, just gone.
At Albert Park?
Albert Park, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a bunch of sports ovals that are like next to the track or whatever. So I literally parked on the main straight to go play cricket on a nearby oval.
No way.
Yeah. I parked right at the start of turn 1.
Okay, that's so cool. Albert Park map. Now I need to look at this. Prince Albert Park.
I better do the intro.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Midwest F1 League. My name is Stat, here with my co-host Crash, and we're here for round 1 of season 2 here at the Midwest F1 League here in Australia, my hometown. How are we today, Crash?
I'm amped. I'm so happy to be back for season 2. We just started off with our F2 league yesterday, where we had a crazy finish. If you don't see that, go check that out up on our YouTube channel. It'll be posted shortly. But going into Div 1, I am absolutely excited. I'm speechless in a way.
So we have had some new drivers come up into this league from Division 2 last season, which were the Friday Night League. And we've also had a lot of team changes over the postseason. So, a lot of new faces and a lot of new people in new colours this season. So this is going to be a great spectacle here for season 2.
Yeah, it will be. We've got like you said, we've got a lot of new faces into Division 1. I guess not new faces, but faces that we're not used to being in here. Actually, the one newest of face is actually Domingo. This is his first race in the F1 in the Midwest League. So he's looking to kind of stamp his foot down and put out a good time today. So we're going to have to see what he can do. We're going to get right into it, right back into the swing of things here. I believe that's Bloxham now, so you're going to have to get used to seeing him on the Red Bull, as he has agreed to team up with ZGS in the Red Bull. He's out on mediums right off the get-go here. A lot of drivers who are actually pretty much 90% of the grid is in a new car. As you can see, Kenny and Nikki are now teaming here in the Williams.
So we might just quickly run you through all the new lineups for this season. Starting off with AlphaTauri with Helg and Pork, teammates at McLaren last season and now moved over to the AlphaTauri for this season. McLaren now with Mystic Joker coming up. Oh no, he came up midway through season 1 and now makes his full-time seat here in the McLaren alongside Monkey Mafia. Red Bull Racing, we now have ZGS coming up from Division 2 and MX Bloxham, who was in the Ferrari last season. In the Ferrari this season is Jacko up from Series 2 with JC from the Racing Point last season in Div 1. In the McLarens we have Honda coming up from Division 2 as well, and I think got a seat in Division 1 right at the end of the season. but is now in the Mercedes, and Clog moving over from the AlphaTauri to come and join the Mercedes team. In the Renaults, we have the returning faces of both Cam and Barry retaining their places in the Renault squad for this season. In the Racing Points, we have Random Series moving over from Red Bull and Noganator from the Haas team. In the Williams, we have our defending champion Kenny moving over from the AlphaTauri with his new teammate Nicky, who was in the Mercedes. Alfa Romeo, driven by the all-Mexican team of Enrique and Mayomir. Enrique staying obviously from Alfa Romeo, and Mayomir moving over from, I believe it was Racing Point last season.
Right.
Or maybe even the Haas. No, it was the Haas.
I believe it was the Haas.
Yeah. And then finally the Haas team with Yolmir coming up from Division 2, and that's ISRL Astutic moving over from the Williams team in Division 2. So that is your driver lineup for this season, and hopefully it will be a ripper of a season.
Yeah, I think we're in better here. We got stiffer competition now up in Division 1. We had a lot of these guys, a lot of these quality drivers down in Division 2, and they were kind of, I wouldn't say stuck there, but they were just there until they could get their opportunity to come up in Division 1. Now they're finally up here, and they're looking to kind of stamp their authority down and put in some sort of championship run here. As I'm on with Kenny, he validates his lap and then decides to just send it around one of the turns and gets a little bit of error. Now he's in the wall a little bit, collecting himself off the gravel pit there.
So we also seem to have already lost Random Sirius with a disqualification from qualifying. Were you able to catch that at all?
No, I did not. It said some sort of pit incident or parking in pit lane. I'm not sure what happened. I believe he had some sort of problem like that a little while ago in one of the other races earlier last year, or last season. Sorry, I'm sure we'll get some sort of explanation.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll have to see. So Random Series, unfortunately, not being able to compete in this first qualifying session of the season, as we were going through our team list before, so we weren't able to get it straight away. But so far we have our top 8 so far being Honda with provisional pole, followed by Helg, Majako, Bloxham, Astunik, Noga, Monkey Mafia, Nicky, and Yolmir. Finals out the people who have qualified so far. Here's your
how's it going? Sorry?
Here's your bold predictions for the year. I know it's very, very early on in the season so far, but do you have any predictions going into this season?
I'll give you my prediction on what I think is going to happen, and then I'll give you my bold dark horse prediction.
Yeah,
so
we'd love to hear it.
My prediction on Driver Championship, although we are missing Mystic Joker here, I think that once he gets back, the consistency that he puts in and week out, even on his quote-unquote bad tracks, I think is next to none. The only person that can compete with him there is Honda. But I still think that Mystic's got the edge in that department. So I think that we're going to see Mystic take over the drivers. For constructors, the team of JC and Jacko, El Majako, which is too good in my opinion. There are a lot of really good teams like the Renault and Cam and Seabury. They're going to want to come back and try and fight for that second Constructor Championship, going back-to-back there, but I think they're going to be real tough with that Ferrari team. As for dark horse and bold predictions, I think that Mercedes team of Honda and Clog, Honda's going to put in a lot of good points week in and week out. It's just if Clog can keep consistent, as I'm on with board with Cam, he goes second fastest, and then his teammate going fifth fastest, Seabury. But if Clog can find some pretty consistent top 10 finishes, then I think they're going to be up there, as that's pretty much what happened last year with Nicky and Kenny. Kenny and Clog Honda. Kenny found a lot of really high up positions, and Clog did good enough, but I think he could have brought a little bit more to the table. But if he can take that extra step this year, I think that they're going to be up there as well for drivers. What do we have here? JC and Mayomir are already starting with a little bit of battling, as JC was on his hot lap, but Mayomir, I'm not sure what was doing. He wasn't really doing anything to help JC out there. JC definitely slowed up a little bit here, but it looks like he's still going to put in a pretty good time. But my dark horse, which is prediction for Drivers' Championship, I'm going to have to actually go with JC. I think JC had some real unfortunate finishes last year and had just not the luck on his side, and if the luck kind of turns over a little bit for him, I think that we can see him up at the top and maybe battling for the podium, as he is now on a new wheel. He tried racing the last couple of races on controller, and that did not work out for him, and he kind of called it after that. So with the new setup for him, I think we're going to see some really solid racing from him.
Yeah, definitely, and so far he's put in a really good lap here to claim provisional 5th here in qualifying, as we are just nearing the halfway mark here in Australia. 3 drivers so far yet to set a time, that being Kenny, ZGS and Mayomir. Quality qualifying sessions here by the Renault team and the Ferrari team, both picking up spots in the top 6, or 4 picking up spots in the top 6. Then the others being Honda and Held. So we might be in for a really good battle here for constructors.
Leviathan, oh, you're saying hi to Monkey Mafia. I can see that. I thought you were getting mad at me. I shouted you out too. But yeah, Monkey Mafia is in chat as well as in this race. And Kenny actually goes fastest. I see sets a blistering 120.056 of a lap and overtakes provisional pole away from Honda. As he does, Honda does go purple in sector 1. So he's looking to take that right back.
So far 0.1 up on his time. We'll have to see the cut at the end of sector 2 as he does go purple again. He's 0.3 up on his time as Bloxham retires from session.
It looked like he crashed out just back there.
Honda keeps it tidy through the last couple corners. Will we see a new pole position lap here? Honda comes over the line, takes provisional pole with a 1:19.4, improving his time by 7 tenths. I reckon Kenny's got a lot of work to do to keep his Drivers' Championship back-to-back dreams alive here. He's got some real good competition coming into this season, as JC has actually set a 4th place qualifying time. So he's overtaken his teammate in Elmer Jacko. Nicky's found himself up in 6th now, helping out Kenny. So that team's putting in some really good performances here as well. Honda hoping Clog finds himself a few positions higher here to help out with their constructors going to round 1.
No, I'd like to see a race win from Helg this year. I think he's got what it takes. He's actually got some real sneaky pace. I think he can put up a better finish than what he did. Whoa, as JC gets DQ'd from the session for being parked in a dangerous location. It's just after it's turn 4 there on track.
Oh, that's a complete DQ, so he will now start 19th. Where was he parked?
He was parked just after turn 4.
Was that something he meant to do?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, now he's completely disqualified from this entire session.
So now...
Meaning...
Yeah, sorry, go.
Yeah, meaning that he will start 19th.
just hearing from Random Serious, he said that he was letting 3 hot lap cars go by, and he pulled off the side at the exit up the pit lane, and I guess the game deemed that he was there too long and DQ'd him for blocking the pit exit. Hi, Ginger's misses. He's actually in Div 2, and right now his race isn't live, so he'll be up. His race will be on the YouTube channel in the next couple of days here. But his race is going on right now, I believe. And I think maybe we can get JC. Yeah, hopefully JC can answer us what happened there. It's quite unfortunate.
So it's unfortunate about Random Serious's DQ, but I mean, by technicality, it is still blocking.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because that's the only way cars can exit the pit lane, and if he's stopping in that little lane, then it stops everyone else from exiting. But the JC one, we're completely unsure about, because if he stopped after turn 4, then unless he's just completely stood there for no reason, then I'm not sure.
So now JC's going to have his hands full, as is Random Serious. ZGS coming over the line, finally setting a time on those mediums. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get around track and throwing a set of softs before.
Oh, JC ran out of fuel.
Oh.
See, he was beached.
Oh, wow. Oh, who's that parked? We have a car parked just in Sector 2 there. Oh, that's Helg. As he's now beside his teammate there, parked in a really weird spot. Oh, it looks like Helg is out of fuel too, and Pork Chops is actually pushing him into the pit.
Oh, no way.
I kid you not. Oh my goodness, I guess that's
no,
where...
Helg's back driving again. But it does seem as if he is out of fuel.
I believe so. But Noganator did just overtake Bloxham for 9th, as Clog overtakes Bloxham for 10th now. Now, I must say, I know we'll hear about it if we don't mention it, but the team of Nikki and Kenny are a team to keep an eye out for. As Nikki was teammate with Mosser that entire year, and then he has, or last season, sorry, he had a couple of really quality finishes as well, and now being with Kenny, the Drivers' Championship in the past, I think that team is set up for a very good finish as well.
Yeah, so far they definitely look it. Yeah, so far the best qualifying team overall is probably that Williams team, with Kenny currently in 3rd and Nicky currently in 6th.
Naomir did go around track, was able to throw on a pair of softs, but will he be able to get all the way around track? He's got 55 seconds to do so to set another time. Pork Chops has taken his time. All those in the pit, you're going to have to call it for them. But there's still positions to be made here. Oh, and Naomir does go invalid, but I think he's able to go around once more. Kenny is on his outlap in a fresh pair of softs. Naomir's slowing up a little bit, knowing that he has a little bit of time to get around. the last two times are going to be set by Maomir and Kenny. Who is that? It looks like there's a Ferrari. Is that Jacko? I think. Oh, Jacko, it looks like also ran out of fuel.
I think he remembered to retire while on the track.
Oh, he did. Well, that absolutely screwed over Honda to try and improve his lap time. Yolmir looking to improve it. Seems like he will. He goes 11th quickest. Domingos goes 10th. Asnick goes 5th. All drivers going up on their final lap are improving their time. Monkey Mafia goes 9th, very impressive. Cam is about to come over the line, and he improves his time, but not enough to take pole away, going purple in sector 3. Maomir is nearly 4/10 down, trying to improve his lap time as well. He's looking to get in the 121s, and he does, going 12th quickest. And Kenny goes into the pits as he goes invalid. So that will be it for our qualifying. So can you call about what we expected here?
Yeah, obviously our top echelon of drivers have taken the top 4 spots here in qualifying. That being Honda, Cam, Kenny, and Jacko. So that's more or less what we expected coming into this this qualifying session here. But a great qualifying here by Stunik as well, finding himself up in 5th place. Helg with a solid 6th, Nicky with a solid 7th as well. Noganator finds himself up in 8th. That's also a great result for him. Love for you to run us through this final qualifying results here, Crash.
Yeah, so I'll kind of just continue off of where you were. You got down to 8th place from Noganator there, down into the BWT this year, Racing Point Pink. On to Monkey Mafia in the McLaren 9th. C. Barry still in that Renault into 10th. Domingo in his first race, a Brazilian driver actually in the McLaren, in 11th. Maomir 12th. Clogmonger 13th. Yolmir 14th. Bloxman 15th after a crash, setting a time on medium tires, just one time set from him. Porkchops in 16th. The race pace king looking to make up a lot of ground to get another hard charger today. Enrique down in 17th. He knows he can bring a little bit more to the table than that. ZGS in 18th. And the 2 disqualifications coming from JC and Random Sirius. So the hardest charger is very open today for those couple of drivers there being so far down the grid.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll have to see, we'll have to keep a close eye on how they go trying to come up the field. Obviously, Pork is very well known for that as well. Always, we do have a wet race here in Australia. Here we go. This is going to shake up a lot of setups and race strategies coming into this.
Yeah, very true. How many drivers?
Interesting to see if they chuck on the inters or the wets here.
Yeah, I'm not. It looks like it's really coming down here, so we might see full wets come on here, but this is going to be interesting, to say the least. Porkchops actually messaged into the Twitch stream, kind of giving me a little bit of an insight into this, and I honestly forgot to tell you that. But we're going to get right into it pretty quick here, as we're going to... No, actually, we're waiting for the whole 2 minutes, as Bloxham is the first to hit the check mark. Oh, goodness, what are we going to see here? But we're going to get right into it here in 15 seconds, into the rain at Albert Park. We're at your home Grand Prix stats, so you're going to have to take this one away, man. I can't...
Well, this is extremely funny, because this is Melbourne weather. I'll tell you what. 1 minute it's bright sunny skies, and the next minute it is pouring. So can't wait to get into this race as the cars grid up and the lights start to show. We will have a formation lap to begin as our new rule set. We are trying out a formation lap to begin the race, as we do see the cars on full wet here. drivers being able to familiarise themselves a little bit before the race start here, trying to get their tyres nice and warm as well before the start of this race. Honda currently leads them through.
I'm not sure if there's any way for us to be able to tell. Kind of going down the line, yeah, all drivers are on wets. So that just shows you how much it's coming down here. And honestly, the formation lap for the wet is going to help out a lot because there's going to be a little bit more of a racing line off the start for the drivers in front than what there would be if they didn't do a formation lap at all.
Yeah, certainly. Majako, also a Melbourne native here, so he would also know quite a lot about this track heading into this race.
So what's exactly happening outside your window right now then?
Right now it is nice and sunny outside, so completely different to what's going on here, as Stunik and Nikki are disqualified from the formation lap, but they will start the race. They just can't continue into the formation. So Predictive Strategies here today are either a one-stop strategy with a pitting around lap 14 and then a two-stop starting at about 9 and the second one coming about 20-ish. So can't wait to get this round 1 underway with Honda leading from the front here in P1. The drivers now just currently moving into their grid boxes from their starting positions. As everyone slowly finds their way to the grid boxes. Can't wait to get underway here in Australia. So all the cars now grid up. We're just about ready to begin this race here. As we have 5 red lights here in Australia. Lights out and away we go. Honda gets a decent start. Cam up beside him, I don't think is going to pull out. Majako gets a really good start. 3 wide heading into turn 1. Seems to have been quite clean. Jacko finds himself up into second place from the start. I think a little argy-bargy down towards the back of the grid. Seems to be decently clean. No safety car, which is always good to see. Honda leads away here at the start of this race, followed by Majako, Kenny and Cam. Cam finds himself 2 positions lower than his start.
Are you getting that glitch from the...
Yeah, just briefly. It's all fixed now.
Yeah, okay. It's all settled down. Who was that, Clog? Clog has gone off.
As we have a virtual safety car.
Clog does re-enter back in 15th place. Quickly check out who's made up the most ground, and JC has actually made up 7 positions. Steve Barry is all the way down 10. Maomir 7 positions down as well. Enrique and Random Syria both collecting 4 positions. Now Majako goes from 4th to 2nd, and then Cam doing the opposite of him, going from 2nd to 4th. Noganator's made up a couple spots going into 6th, where overtaking Helg and Nikki, and that's pretty much how it sits so far.
Ooh, Clog finding it really difficult to turn at the moment. Well, as we've lost some more front wings. I think we're going to expect a lot of people coming into the pit lane at the moment to replace some front wings here. As JC picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane here. for 5 cars currently in the pit lane at the moment. Honda leads the pack away, followed by Elmer Jacko and Kenny. Cam down in 4th place, goes a little wide in turn 5. Stunik behind him in 5th. Noganita finds himself up to 6th place. Nicky currently in 7th, held down in 8th. Monkey Mafia 9th, Yelmir in 10th. Domingo, is it Domingo? Domingo currently in 11th, goes wide at turn 6 into the gravel, loses some places, loses a lot of places. So ZGS, Random Series finds himself up in 11th, ZGS 12th, Mamir 13th, Seabarry 14th, Domingo currently down in 15th now, carrying some of his front wing, I believe that is. JC up into 6th place, but with a 5-second penalty. Enrique in 17th, MX Bloxham down into 18th, Flog down in 19th, and Pork Chops found himself all the way at the back of the grid here in 20th.
So this is going to turn into be a completely different race from what we were anticipating there, and Helg breaks a little late and gets a piece of Nicky there. Honda going fastest lap, but by that I mean Albert Park Circuit is already a track that is hard to pass on. Now throw rain into the equation, no DRS. It's just going to make things a lot more difficult, and with it being on full wet, you're going to see some possible drift passes here to really get around the drivers. I mean, I've done it in my career from time to time. We might see it here live into the game.
As Domingo picked up a 3-second penalty for multiple track limit warnings. I don't know if you can start to see, but a racing line is starting to form on the track. It's still not enough at all to be able to even think about switching on to Indies at the moment. If only we could catch a weather report with our spectator settings, that would be lovely.
I agree. It kind of simply sucks that we can't. We got that yellow flag in Sector 1 as I think that's Clogmonger getting overtaken by Pork Chops.
Kenny trying to chase down Jacko at the moment. I think got quite close. Oh, Kenny a little slidey through the last corner.
Just nearly loses it there. We got a nice little train from 7th to 10th set up here. This race just after 4 laps is quickly opened up. We have a couple of clusters here, and even after the virtual safety cars. But if this were a dry day, Helg would probably have, or not probably, Helg would have a far easier time to overtake Nicky off the hop with that DRS, but with it being wet, it's going to be a really hard task to do, and honestly, I don't think even into turn 1, or then that second DRS section, going into turn 3, is really going to be the area to do it. He's just got to find somewhere around track where Nicky can make a mistake, or not just this battle here, but in any other battle in this race where they can just make a mistake and then hopefully find the pace to make up that ground and dive in the inside corner or whatever.
So Cam currently finds himself within a second of Kenny here. He's inching closer every lap here, as Kenny's also trying to chase down Jacko. So a nice little battle for second developing here between these 3 drivers, 3 very talented drivers. As Cam goes a little wide into turn 2. Loses out a bit of time. Kenny gains a little bit on Jacko.
Here we Can Hell get a run into turn 3? And it looks like Nicky was able to get enough traction out of turn 2 there, but... Oh, who do we have off? I think that's Domingo's off in sector 2 there. That's Clog. And Honda's about to overtake, but Helg has brought himself right back on the tail of Nicky, and as has Yolmir. Yolmir's right tight too. Monkey Mafia's fallen back out of this fight a little bit.
Domingo seems to have gotten away a little bit of these drivers here, unfortunately.
Now Haas right now sitting, I think they're the only team with a double top 10 finish here. Ooh, and Yolmir's got a really good run. He's got the outside line and he gets an overtake done on Helg. Very nicely done by Yolmir there. And now looking to go right at... Now Yolmir goes the inside line on Nicky, trying for 2 overtakes in 1 lap, but Nicky's able to hold him off. Yolmir found some crazy pace through sector 2 there.
So the gap between Cam and Kenny has opened up quite a bit due to the Domingo incident. But the Kenny and Jacko one is still quite alive at the moment. Both drivers kind of squirming their way around the track, trying to get as much grip as they can to try and either, in Jacko's case, try to bridge the gap a little more, and Kenny trying to gain as much time as possible. Still sitting in just under a second. Kenny hits the grass a little bit, that'll lose him some time. Goes wide as well. That's going to lose him a ton of time here on Jacko as Cam finds himself nice and close again to Kenny.
We've got quite a few battles here for position actually going on here. One round we're on right now for 3rd, and then also 9th place between Helg and Monkey Mafia, and Yolmir has actually gotten right up close to Nicky now, maybe looking to take a lunge into the turn. He's right in the slipstream, but he's not close enough. As that battle still commences for 7th place, Yol gets a little too heavy on the throttle and spins out a bit too much. Ooh, and Nicky goes a little bit deep into 15, which brings Yol right on the back. Now Yol in behind Nicky, but it doesn't look like he's got enough traction down the straight to make a lunge into turn 1 here. Now it looks like Yol's going to take a dive into turn 3. He's alongside Nicky, pushes Nicky out wide. Nicky gives him the racing line here. Nicky still holds on to that inside line, but Yolmir sends it right around the outside. Both drivers giving enough room for each other to maneuver, and Nicky, after that battle, is able to hold on to position.
That's brought Helg right back into it. As Domingo off again.
Ooh, and Kenny has gone off, and now Cam is into 3rd place. And Kenny's actually dropped down into 5th. I think his 5th place is safe for him. Noganator is still 4 seconds away. But Kenny losing out quite a few positions.
Honda actually sets another quickest time.
Checking quick, I didn't see any damage onto Nicky's front wing. So he's going to be able to press on here and not have to turn this into a 3-stop strategy. And Nicky once again going a little too deep. Now opening that door for Yolmir here. Yolmir's just got to get the traction out of turn 16, but Nicky also gets some pretty good pace. And Noganator is first to blink and into the pits, as is Mailmere as well. We're going to see Yulmir just nearly get alongside Nicky. Nicky goes a little deep. Yulmir cuts that turn a little bit, trying to get alongside him. Just not wide enough.
Cam has made up about half a second on Jacko at the moment. Still quite a while away from the Australian.
Oh, we have a full-on safety car here. Who's that? Is that...
Now will this be a trigger as Honda is into the pit lane? Majako also comes in, so does Cam. Will we see some inters be thrown on here? Yes, inters are on to Honda at the moment as he starts to come out of the pit lane. Bloxham actually retires.
Jacko actually...
Jacko opts to the wets again as Cam comes onto the inters. Everyone coming onto the inters at the moment. Can he pick up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane? Has this been a mistake on Jacko's part here, putting on wets?
May just. Nicky's going to get slowed up by Kenny here as Kenny needs a new wing. So now Nicky's finally in. And so much time is being wasted here as they're having to serve the time penalty for Nicky as well. Yeah, there you see it.
Honda himself also has a time penalty here. He currently has a 5-second penalty.
What that was for. I'm gonna need to check that. Severe collision with Bloxham. Oh. So some point in the race there when Bloxham crashed out, Honda must have accidentally gotten into him there. We've got quite a few penalties getting tossed around here as well. Is Jacko gonna go back into the pit, or is he gonna stay out on the wets? He's opting to stay out here.
Maybe hoping that the inters actually don't hold up.
We're gonna see. This is a massive risk.
The rain does not seem to have slowed down at all.
Yeah.
It might even show here because Jacko doesn't seem to be needing to warm up his tyres, but Honda's working extremely hard to keep these up to temp. That could be a sign that the wets may be the right tyre to be on at the moment.
And you see the other drivers needing to warm their tires as well. believe we may come around once more. There's a couple of those cars in the back. Now, Clogmonger has found himself slotted in between Noganator. So he's got to completely unlap himself right now. So he's going to be one lap down on JC, as JC is going to be the last driver to catch up to the pack. But it looks like a racing line has really been formed now on this track. The rain, it seems, is starting to subside a little bit, so I think the gamble or the mistake by Jacko is going to hurt him. Now, the lap record for this track was set all the way back in 2004 by the man himself, Michael Schumacher.
Clog apparently picked up a 5-second penalty for... Oh, he's completely disqualified.
Wow.
For ignoring yellow flags.
Did you catch that at all? Did you see anything there?
Well, I was on board with Jacko, and it just seems like he went past the, he drove past the safety car or whatever.
Oh, maybe he was thinking to unlap himself, but it must have been too late for him to do so.
Well, the yellow lights have to go out in the safety car, but I don't think this game really allows for people to unlap themselves with the safety car. We'll have to get his view of it after the race. But the safety car will come in this lap.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Clog. That's kind of weird. Clog calls BS in the Twitch chat, to put it simple. What's going to happen with Jacko? He's the only man on the entire grid to throw on wets. As we come around turn 16, Honda's just going to let it go. Jacko times it pretty decently. He's a little bit behind right now. Yolmir sends it around the outside and gets Helgen to turn 2 and nearly loses it. Or turn 1, sorry, nearly loses it on turn 2. Kenny right on the back of
Stunik going for the move on Cam. Doesn't seem to get it as Cam sticks to P3. Stunik putting in a great move there. Or attempted great move. Noganator, I believe, picks up the place on Kenny. Well, Noganator may have already been past him at that point.
I think he got ahead of him in the pits.
Jacko seems to be really struggling on these wet tyres at the moment. Cam gets right on his back bumper, can't get past him. But Stunik comes up right beside Cam and will try to take the position. They're side by side. Cam seems to keep the position. Stunik goes right past Cam, tries to get past Jacko as well. Chaco almost becoming a roadblock here. Oh, as Stunik tries to send it round the outside. Gets pushed off a little bit by Jacko. Cam coming back.
We've got
this is really close here.
We've got 5 drivers
Cam
now in a drag race down into turn 1 here. Cam's got the outside and he's got the outpace on Jacko. Asnik sends it on the inside line and pinches out Jacko, and Jacko runs into the front of Kenny here. Noganator is able to overtake both of them.
Ooh.
And who is that? Yolmir crashes out.
I believe he hit Jacko and spun into the wall. As I believe Kenny's also lost some of his front wing here.
It's just a VSC. As I wasn't able to catch
this wet tire strategy has really backfired on Jacko here. So I believe what happened in that instance was Cam was on the outside and went around Jacko. Estunik was on the inside trying to overtake, and I think someone was coming around the outside. I think that was Kenny. And then Kenny was forced almost like completely off the track by Jacko. And then Yol tried to, I think Best Pons or Yol tried to come down the right side and ended up flying over the front of Jacko and into the wall.
Now, Yolmir has got to have some of the worst luck in the Midwest F1 League. As there we see, we got Jacko into the pit now. As is Kenny. Nicky and C. Barry are in a drag race down into turn 1. Nicky looks like he's got the pace, goes to the outside line. He's going to send it around. C. Barry cuts a little bit of that turn 1 and unfortunately loses out. Monkey Mafia now right alongside of Helg, but Helg just has his car out in front and Monkey Mafia is going to slot back for 6th place.
A good little train here at the pack from 5th to 12th here. As we do then have a decent gap to the top, to 2nd to 4th here. As Noganator is starting to drop back a little bit, but Stunik trying his best to keep in close contact with Cam.
Can you make the interest last the rest of this race?
I don't believe so. You could. I reckon you could, yeah. Potentially. It's not something impossible.
It'll be very tough.
Especially since a lot of these are put on at about lap 8 or 9.
I agree. Now, a couple of the drivers that I think would have the ability, just from track position, would maybe be Helg and Noganator. As long as Helg makes it so he doesn't actually have to battle for position with Monkey Mafia, and Noganator's got a gap of 5.5 seconds.
Mamie gets a good run and he goes past ZGS on the straight. ZGS will try to fight back, but I don't think he can. Nicky gets right up behind ZGS here. See, Barry tries to get a good run on him out of turn 2. Doesn't quite get the run he wanted. Or maybe he does. Nicky pulls to the inside. Barry tries to send around the outside. They touch a little bit, but Nicky keeps the position. Barry still trying to go back at him, but can't do it. Helg's opened up a little buffer between him and Monkey Mafia at the moment, as Random Series is trying to chase down Monkey here.
Asnik has now fallen back to a 1.5 seconds, and Cam is now 10 seconds behind Honda.
Honda really controlling this race now.
maybe we see a couple of the drivers in the back of the pack just trying to ride out their tires to the end. Ooh. Random Series actually lost a position to Mailmere. And ZGS is actually into the pit as well. Just for some fresh inters. Noganator currently holding that gap to around 5 seconds between him and Helg. Helg has grown that gap between him and Monkey Mafia to above 2 now. This rain seems to just hold its pace and not want to come down any harder. This is still a wet race, as the racing line is formed on the track. Mailmere gets a little bit too heavy on the throttle there and had a chance at Monkey Mafia, but unfortunately he's going to have to wait until another corner to do so. Nicky being shot with the 3-second penalty. Down in 9th place, he's got C. Barry behind him also with the penalty. But 6 seconds to C. Barry. As it stands right now, Renault and Racing Point are the only teams with 2 drivers in the top 10, so really looking at a big day for those 2 teams. I think Domingo's just pulling off to the side. Now, I gotta imagine that that was a mistake from Jacko to throw on the wets.
The track has really dried up here as the rain has stopped. So do you reckon we'll expect cars to come in for potentially softs or mediums here?
I think so, as you can look at this track and it is nearly dry now.
Honda might be the first one to pull this trigger. Does not come in. Oh, no, he does come in. Honda does come in at the moment. Interesting to see if Cam follows him in.
I think so, as that Australian outback sun is starting to peek through the clouds there.
Astunic stays out. Noganator comes in. Held stays out. Monkey stays out. Mailmere stays out. A lot of cars opting to stay out at the moment. Not a lot of cars coming in except for our leaders here.
Ooh.
All coming out onto the soft tyre.
Now
Noganator goes onto the mediums.
I just saw Helg stayed out. I thought we were going to see Pork Chops come in, but Pork gets an overtake on Cam here. Now it's all about keeping those tires hot enough. This Cam's now in a side-by-side battle for JC on the soft tire compound. You can see him working right there as he's able to outbrake him into turn 2.
Honda, I think, finding the track cut quite slippery at the moment on these soft tires. Kind of let's see Barry go.
It may have been 1 lap too early.
Yeah, potentially, yeah. Seem to be losing a lot of time.
The inter tires are still really moving. Yeah, Cam and JC were battling into turn 1 now, but just through a half a lap. Pork has even also overtaken Honda. This Honda's really taking it easy here. And Pork actually gets overtaken by Enrique as well, so you can just see that this track is still wet. Monkey Mafia is into the pit. And a lot of these drivers opt to stay out for one more lap here. So now this race is completely... Oh, is Random Serious spins out. Oh, and puts himself right in front of Pork Chops, and Pork Chops hits him.
As we have a full safety car now. This may have thrown this entire race on its head with the safety car. As a lot of these drivers at the front that have not pitted yet for soft or medium tyres may opt to now, and will get the jump on Honda, Cam and Nurganator, who came in earlier.
Yeah, you can see just turning into Noganator. Noganator is still really struggling on this track. It's just slick enough to throw these tires out of whack. You know, Asnick is in front, and he's gonna make the move. Are we gonna see him pit?
Yeah, he does. He does come in. This is almost a free pit stop. Well, it pretty much is a free pit stop here. Will he come out in front of Honda? That is the question. So Nurganator gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under pit lane. Astanik does come onto the soft tyre. Honda is nowhere to be seen at the moment. Astanik will take, I believe, provisional P1 here. Well, it does take P1 at the moment.
Where does
Honda only now rounds and is going down the main straight. Honda is in second at the moment.
Now,
but Astanik currently in first place with 10 laps to go.
Helg's third. Cam comes back around in fourth. I think the safety car actually bailed out Honda.
Yeah. Well, no, I believe Honda would have been a lot better if...
But even on that second lap around on those softs, he was still being overtaken. But now with the safety car, the track's going to dry up. There's no more rain. The cars are going to lift up all the moisture off this track here.
It's going to make it a nice dry track before we get back underway.
He's only on 2-lap old softs. Asnick's got the advantage with very fresh ones.
So Nurganator actually came straight back in again for soft tyres.
Oh, we had a drive-through penalty as well.
Yeah. I believe still has it too. Yeah, he still has his drive-through to serve. So he has to serve that after the safety car is gone.
Yeah, this is kind of throwing a complete wrench into this with Random Serious bowing out here.
So Helg does have a 5-second penalty, which means Cam is pretty much a net P3 at the moment. But we'll just have to see if Honda gets a good start and is able to overtake Asterix right at the end of the safety car. And if Cam is able to also try to get past Aesthetic here.
So we'll take a peek at what the drivers have opted for tire compound. The only person on mediums is Jacko and Domingo. So Jacko's race, after unfortunately going onto those wets, has been doomed ever since, as he's now down in 12th. Cam and Honda have been brought back into this race with this safety car. And Asnick currently has the lead, with Cam sitting on provisional 3rd place with the penalty to be handed out to Helg after, but we'll have to see if Helg can maybe hold off Cam and gain 5 seconds on him. Still 7 full laps to go, as we're waiting on Domingo to catch up to the pack to get back underway here at Albert
It's also
Park.
worth noting that apologies. Naomi and Nikki both have 3-second penalties, and Barry has 6.
So yeah, if Enrique can keep close there, he can jump all 3 of them possibly. Let's see, Barry's got quite the work ahead of him. He's going to want a high finish here.
So safety car will go round once more here in Australia.
Currently, Enrique and JC are tied for hardest charger at 9, but of course we'll go to Enrique, as Enrique will finish higher up the grid.
Well, no, I believe it does go to both. I think a bonus point will be handed out to both drivers.
Now, JC did get a disqualification. Does his penalty, because the new rule this year is that you can't not set a time in qualifying and then get hardest charger in the race.
I do believe that means he doesn't get it, because
Okay.
you will have had to have gotten a decent time.
Well, he was 4th, but then he got disqualified. So I'm not sure.
But he's only gained that many positions because he started lower.
Of the disqualification. Yeah, true. Okay.
Because if he was 4th, he would have lost 6 places if he was where he was now.
So right now, hardest charger is just virtually Enrique's. It is JC
Yes.
with the disqualification. That's fun to say. Is not able. Oh, is Domingo? Oh no, I thought Domingo completely unlapped himself, but he's still 1 lap behind. The safety car is in this lap, so we're going to get back underway. We'll get right on with the battle for first place between Honda and Aston here.
The drivers are currently just trying to get a last bit of tyre warmth into their tyres.
It looked like Aston kind of pump faked Honda a little bit there, as he was warming up his tire, and then shot it into turn 13 there, and then Honda went to try and regain that time lost, but then Asnick went back to warm up his tires here, and looks like Asnick actually caught Honda off, as already that gap is at 1.3. We're back green, 7 full laps to go here. Helg looking to make up that ground on Honda. It's going to be a tall order. Jacko's already overtaken Pork for 11th. Monkey Mafia and Enrique were going wheel to wheel there, and Enrique gets the better in the end. Enrique trying to come back at C. Berry there. C. Berry's not had the best of restarts.
I believe ZGS also got the position on Pork at the start there as well.
Oh, yes, he did. Monkey Mafia going wheel to wheel now with Enrique. As Enrique launches to the inside and gets a piece of C. Berry, pushing him onto the grass. That opens the door for Monkey Mafia to take it over. Now C. Berry gets pushed into the wall there, and looked like he was pinched into the wall onto Enrique's Alfa Romeo. Jacko has now moved up into 8th place. We got a VSC out. As in Sector 2 has made it for an early VSC after the restart.
Kenny now has 14 seconds worth of penalties.
Wow. This has not been his day.
And Barry picks up another 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane.
Now we're back green here. Cam's really tight on Helg. Looking to get into 3rd place on track. He currently sits it through time alone, but I'm sure he just still wants to get the overtake done on Helg here.
Don't count Mayomir and Nicky out of this though.
True, if Cam is somehow gets a penalty.
Well, at the moment, I was about to say Helg would drop down to 6th, but Mayomir and Nicky also have their own penalties alongside. Stunik is opening up that gap ever so slightly on Honda at the moment.
Yeah, he's found some really solid late race paces. He actually sets the quickest lap. And Mayomir just overtakes, and I'm sure we're going to see that quickest lap be re-overtaken after some of these drivers finish here.
Paul Chops actually with a 128.1.
Yeah.
Is it just me, or was that actually quicker than our qualifying time?
What was it, 128?
I think it was a 129.0 that was the best qualifying time.
I'm not sure. Noganator's into the pit. He's just trying to take whatever he can left of this race here. Jacko's now right on tight behind the McLaren of Monkey Mafia here. Jacko being on those medium tire compounds, the tires are going to start evening out between him and Monkey pretty soon here. And I believe we're going to get DRS back.
Yeah, DRS is back.
You see Jacko thinking about a lunge the inside line there, but opts out. Honda's that's a slot now.
Never mind. Our thing was a 119, not a 129. Never mind. That's fine.
So pretty close.
Honda right on the back of Astunik. Does opt for the inside. Does get it done. Astunik fighting back. Has now got the inside into turn 4. No, but Honda keeps the pace and will lead through turn 5. So Honda regains the lead here. Now will Astunik be able to fight back here and take back the lead?
Kenny setting
Kenny picks up fastest lap.
Astunik still staying pretty close here. ZGS is into the pits. Astunik is going to get DRS.
Gets close, but Cam actually picks up a 3 second of his own. So now him and Helg are square. Oh no, Helg has 5 seconds now.
Helg does have a 5.
And ISRL picks up a 3 second as well, so this will be Honda's race to lose here. So Cam just needs to stay within 2 seconds of Helg at the moment, and he's got this thing wrapped up.
Still 3 full laps to go here. Still plenty can happen. Asnick actually looking to keep it real close on the back of Honda here. Nicky unexpectedly being the #1 driver of the day for the Williams here. Looking to try to get up into 5th place. Jacko has kind of made a decent bit of this race ever since that unfortunate incident getting onto the wets, and he's got a chance to get into 6th place here. He's got no penalties. He's on the better of tire, and he's brought himself within 2 seconds, so he might be able to even take a stab at Nicky late into this race on the last lap here. I don't think we're going to see a lunge from Cam to overtake for 3rd place. I think he's content with just staying close behind Helg. Kenny now with 15 seconds worth of penalties. See, Barry's got 14. Noganator with 3. So right now, Noganator is set to just barely jump up ahead of C. Barry.
So now at the moment, Nicky actually drops back into 8th.
Oh, he's got 6 seconds. I didn't see that.
Yeah, and Mayamir will drop down into 7th. No, 6th. And Jacko will actually jump up into 5th at the moment.
Yeah,
that's
Jacko's
really good. As Helg picks up another time penalty.
Oh, Cam's going now at Helg on the inside line here. He's got him into turn 13, but Helg does a lovely job of sending it around the outside to still hold to track position 3rd place. If Mailmere picks up another penalty... Oh no, Jacko's still going to jump ahead of him.
Yes.
So all that doesn't matter. Ferrari's trying to get whatever they can out of this race. Honda's going to come home with the win. As it stands, Asnick is going to come over 2nd place. Cam in 3rd. Helg's going to drop off the podium in a respectable 4th. Speaking of, looking like to go at Cam into turn 13. Once again, he's got DRS. He's got the inside line. Helg tries to defend, but Cam's just got the pace, and Helg goes for a lovely little switchback. And Helg continually holds on to 3rd place on track. Honda comes around the final turn, is going to take home the first win of Season 2 in the Mercedes. Asnick will come home in 2nd place. A lovely little drive from the Haas. Helg in 3rd, turns into 4th with Cam going into 3rd. We got a little battle in the end here, and Jacko will actually jump into 4th. Wow. Monkey Mafia into 7th, so Jacko is actually able to take back quite a bit from this race here.
Fastest lap will go to Kenny here. So still able to pick up a few extra points by our current championship leader.
And guess who has collected hardest charger?
Oh, of course he has.
Noganator jumps ahead of Seabury into 12th, and the last couple of drivers come over the line to finish. as we go through race week 1, Pork Chops collects driver of the day, but I'd argue to give it to Asnick there, as he had the proper strategy, and unfortunately wasn't able to hold off Honda in the late bit there, but did a solid job. Honda coming over the line, taking pole and taking the race win here. Asnick did what he could, but Honda was unmatched today at Albert Park. Pork Chops, as I said, collects our hardest charger, gaining the most points, or most positions from start, as we'll go through it quickly here. Honda taking the win, Asnick second, Cam third, Jacko coming over the line in fourth, which he's got to be happy about, as it looked like all hope for this race was lost at one point. Helg in fifth, Mamir sixth, Monkey Mafia in seventh, Nikki in eighth, Pork Chops in ninth, Enrique in 10th, as two Alfa Romeos come in the top 10 here. Kenny 11th, Noganator 12th, JC in 13th, ZGS 14th, Seaberry 15th, Domingo in 16th. Random Series won't collect points, nor will Yolmir, Clog, or Bloxham, as all four DNF'd in this race. But this was a good one. I'm not gonna lie, this was a fun one in Australia to start it all off here, as we go just under an hour total time from the race, 51 minutes and 20 seconds from start to finish. We're gonna get the podium in a Honda, Asnick and Cam, as well as Pork Chops into the booth for some interviews here. If you will stay with us for a mere moment. Have you messaged into those, Stat?
No. So we're getting Honda, Cam, and Asnick, correct?
Yeah, I'll send it in. So it's looking like we've got some controversy down in Div 2 today. So be sure.
Definitely seems as though.
Yeah.
Honda can't make interviews.
I guess we'll just get the top two in Pork.
Do we potentially want to get Jacko in to explain his his incredible comeback at the end? But then
oh, you need to add Asnick to the group.
Yes.
It seems like we got a little bit of controversy down in Div 2. Just reading the
Just
Discord.
a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Did you message Jacko to come into the
Oh, yeah, I will do. I guess you can just start if we got everyone in here.
No, I've only got Estunik at the moment.
But quickly ask Nick, you got your party settings on share for
Yeah.
voice? Okay, awesome. Yeah, I gotta say, Stat, I'm happy with what I learned in cricket in our conversation before.
Yeah, well, you gotta start watching some more.
How long did it take you to remember all those positions?
It doesn't take that long. Like, you kind of just learn by doing, and also by like watching. It's not too difficult. It's just memory.
Yeah, I guess the position is just the area field.
Yeah,
I guess.
but yeah,
right?
it's not like an exact like position. It's just like a general area to like stand.
I gotcha. Because
Field.
leg side is like behind the
Well,
striker.
leg side is just like the leg side of the batsman.
Yeah, it just looks like on the map. It looks like it's just behind him.
Well, yeah. So if like the batsman's facing one way, so the leg side is whichever side of the wicket his legs are.
You ever been a keeper?
Only in juniors, but never was good at it.
They're the only guys that get to wear gloves, so I feel like that'd be the best position.
Well, yeah, but you have to squat all day, and that's not fun.
Yeah, you're not a squatting man.
Nah, I'm not a squatting man. I'm more of a stand and deliver. Anyway.
Pork Chop says he can't make it on tonight.
I'm already
Pork Chops is in.
Oh, what? I just read your
He is
message.
here.
It's too distracted
So-
looking at the cricket field.
So are you here or not, Pork? That's the question. Are you here or not?
I'm 50% here.
Okay.
50%. Does that
Right.
mean you're drunk or tired?
Tired.
Okay.
Alright, Sad, take it
What?
away.
Just quickly, Pork. What is our policy on drugs here?
Hey man, as long as you're not doing harm to anybody else, whatever.
Okay, good.
Okay,
mathematician.
good, man.
Anyway, so we'll get
So
the
we can have-
interviews.
We can have
Yeah,
Otto
go,
from
go.
The Simpsons, the bus driver. He's allowed to race in this league?
Absolutely.
Okay, good.
It's all just recreational.
Yeah, yeah. 100%.
My recreational M1 Abrams.
Quickly, we're actually only 3 followers away. We're actually only 3 followers away from hitting 100 followers on Twitch, so if you're just watching or tuning in here, be sure to hit that follow button and get us there. That'll be quite the milestone for us. We've only been alive for about 6 months here, so to hit 100 followers, that would be so cool. We very much appreciate that.
And here in the Midwest F1 League commentator booth, we love money. So
Plus, look how good the race was.
Yeah.
anyway, we'll move to today's interviewees. We have Estunik, who picked up a nice P2. Honda couldn't make it, who was our P1 today. Cam picking up a P3, and Jacko somehow finding his way back into P4 for this race, and Porkchops picking up the hardest charger, equal with Enrique here today. We'll start with our P2 man, Estunik. Great to see you up on the podium here today. I believe your best finish here in The Midwest F1 League, especially in Div 1, having coming up from Div 2 last season. How do you think your race went today?
I love Australia lately with this game, so it's been pretty good. I thought P5 was a good start, and honestly, as the first stint went along, I was thinking P5 is probably where we're sticking, because I think it was Cam was ahead of me, and I think it was Noggin or whatever his name was behind. So it was pretty much a solid gap. I just thought that P5 was just the aim. You know, it's just first race this season, bring home points, like help the team. Like it's more sake. It's only race one. But as like I saw people having trouble, and I got there, and then as we started to hit a crossover period to the inters, like it was just we got lucky safety cars. The guys at the top, we really got like key safety cars or virtual safety cars. We're able to just pit without really losing anything. And then I think it was Jacko went to wets, so like I knew I was like, all right, he's gonna be a little bit off the pace. And then once you got to that point where people were starting to go to slicks, I felt people pit like 2 laps early because I was still out there. I was setting green sectors, and I was like, I turned in a personal best while everybody was going to the off. So, and then gifted another safety car. Really weird being behind the safety car, the first one. You usually gotta go by it, so it's a little like George Russell moment. But yeah, like this was fun. This was you had to keep your you had to nail every lap. This was just enjoyable race. Plus the racing was great. There was like 3 wide in a turn. It was just awesome. It was just awesome.
Oh yeah, very great spectacle here. So yeah, definitely got extremely lucky with how that crossover period 2 slicks worked out. I believe Honda, Cam, and Noganator were the ones to come into slicks, being 3 of the top 5 at the time, or 3 of the top 6, I believe. But yeah, definitely backfired immediately, and almost let you have the race win today. But the safety car did allow Honda to then catch up nice and close, and did take him a few laps to overtake you. So really good job here today, and congrats on the eventual P2.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
We'll now move on to our P3 placed driver here today with Cam, bringing home some nice points for the Renault team here today. Hoping to improve his performance in the Drivers' Championship this year. So far, still in P3. So yeah, how do you think your race went here today, Cam?
I'm not stoked about it. I'm not insanely depressed about it. I'm kind of so-so. Quali was, it was good. It was dry. Super happy about, dry conditions. So couldn't really complain too much there. I did end up kind of putting it on a wet setup. It was more like a hybrid between wets and dry. It seemed like the choice to make. It made me a little slower in quali, and obviously, definitely slowed me down in the last few laps that we had when everyone was put onto the slicks and had that final safety car. And yeah, had a hard time keeping up. It was either that or Helg Dion. He was definitely had really good pace, and I couldn't really quite get around, but kind of jumped way too far ahead there. I mean, the race started out, it was completely wet. I was sliding all over the place, had no chance. I thought I was going to end up in the wall for sure. And Asnick definitely had extreme good pace in the wet conditions, and was putting me under a lot of pressure, and definitely could have made a move in a couple positions. And luckily, everything was clean towards the end. I definitely being on this new pedal set, even though it's pretty much identical to the last set I had, it was the first one kind of coming back with this pedal set in the rain, and yeah, it was definitely challenging. I guess the final thought that really comes to mind is kind of the pit. I think what really kind of was the main, basically twist of the knife, or as far as how I wanted the race to go, was pitting lap 17. Right behind Honda, because normally I trust his judgment. He has really good judgment about, the kind of the wet to dry conditions and everything in between, and proper pit, when to kind of feel it out. And it did feel a little early, but then again, like pitting another lap almost would have felt a little late, even though it wasn't. If anything, like Asnick said, he's saying the green sectors, it obviously was a choice to stay out and just pit 2 laps early, and was pretty much on ice. Almost 2 laps. Yeah, basically 2 laps being on the slicks in the inter conditions, which it really didn't seem like it just at first glance, but it just didn't feel right at all, and ended up in the grass a couple times. Yeah, it was just tough. But yeah, huge shout out to all the drivers, and yeah, that about covers it.
Yeah, it was a bit of... The safety car almost bailed the three of you out a bit. Not so much Noganator, but definitely you and Honda. It bailed you out a little bit, having come out, I think, 2 laps after you guys had moved on to the slicks, which I believe if that safety car wouldn't have come out, then a lot of the drivers would have completed maybe 1 or 2 more laps on the inters, and then just would have had a big enough gap to then safely switch onto the slicks and have better pace in the end. But yeah, definitely a great finish in the end, and I'm not sure where Barry finished, but I'm sure picked up some decent points for Renault, hoping to go back-to-back in the Constructors. So congrats on today.
Thanks, appreciate it.
We'll move on to P4 with Jacko somehow being able to bring back the misjudgment with the tyres, as well as being able to pick up, I believe it was 3 or 4 positions right at the end due to time penalties. So doing a clean race was able to save you in the end. So how do you think your race went today, Jacko?
It was a bit of a mixed bag. Quali was pretty poor as well, not even close to a PB, but somehow salvaged the second row out of it. And the start, incredible, nailed it off the line. But then Honda had some alien pace, which I decided I wasn't even going to pursue, just stay in second at the time. And then when the safety car came out, I had inters selected at the time, and I thought, no, it's not ready. And I was correct to a certain extent, because for the first 3 corners, I think I was quicker than Honda. But then it sort of flipped like a switch, and the inters were not right. I wanted to pit a lap earlier than I did to go... Sorry, the inters were right and the wets weren't. I went to pit a lap earlier than I did to go on to inters, but there was a car passing me on my right, so I couldn't get in. And went another lap, and on that lap there was just carnage because cars were trying to pass me left and right. They had slightly better top speed because obviously the pressures were different in the tyres. And I was sort of being pinballed across the track, trying not to hit too many people. I think that's what cost Yolmir his race, unfortunately. But yeah, I managed to get back to the pits, came out like 14th or something, and then similar to the guys who pitted too early for the slicks, was bailed out by that last safety car, and due to having no penalties, was able to file back up to 4th. But I'm just wondering what could have been if I was in that fight with Astanik and Honda. It might have been a nice battle, but things went wrong for my teammate too, so I can't complain too much. He had a lot of bad luck in this race, so
yeah, definitely.
Ferrari need to bounce back.
Did you also suffer from running out of fuel at the end of quali there? Or did you just pull off the track?
I came out with just enough to do 2 laps if I stuffed the first one up, which I did right at the end, so I went around doing a recharge lap in 8th gear, which is probably what you saw me doing with fuel, and then went again, but I invalidated that last one, so it didn't matter in the end.
Okay. Well, yeah, it was very unfortunate for JC running out of fuel, I believe he said.
Yeah, he would have been P5 on the grid.
Yeah,
and then he had like a couple of wings come off, unfortunately. So
yeah, so he was sitting P4 when he disqualified. So yeah, very unfortunate for Ferrari not to pick up a very big chunk of points, but still a great finish in the end. Despite with those wet tyres, were they accidentally put on? Did you select inters and they put on wets by accident?
No, I selected to put. Inters were selected, but I overruled it to put wets. Because it wasn't ready for inters at the stage. Like during the safety car, wets was still the quickest, and even the first half lap. But then obviously, it wasn't worth it in the end.
Yeah.
So I made the wrong choice on that one.
Yeah. So still a great finish in the end at P4, being able to redeem your race in the end, and picks up some really good points here in Div 1. So hopefully you can carry that out with some similar or even better performances through the year. So good luck.
Thank you, and congrats to the podium guys.
Yeah. So we'll move on to do we really have to talk to Pork about another hardest charger?
I mean, you don't have to.
Alright, well that's it for the Midwest F1 League on Thursday.
But last but not least, we have Pork coming in for another hardest charger here. I believe, does this now make it that you're the hardest charger in Midwest F1 League?
Correct.
The hardest charger.
So hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. Stand and deliver. So yeah, where did you start here? Was it P17? Was that
Yeah,
where you
P17.
qualified? Yeah, and where did you end up? 9th?
9.
10th? 9. Yeah, so another really good performance by you, especially with Helg being able to pick up, I believe it was 5th in the end. So a
think so, yeah.
Pretty decent haul by AlphaTauri today. How do you think your race went today?
It was a mess. Qualifying, tried to do a hybrid wet setup, and it did not provide anything for a dry track. And then ran into Barry at the start of the race. That screwed up my wing and his race, which that I totally apologize for. And then just kind of head down, started just racing my race, and then before you know it, I saw there was a yellow flag. Car was spun outside of turn 2, I think it was. It was random serious. And as he was coming back onto the track to get going again, I had nowhere to go and just collided with him and essentially ruined his race completely.
Yeah.
After that, though, I mean, I saw guys pitting for softs, and it was still way too early. I know Helg was going to come in, and I told him, like, dude, I'm getting ready to pass Honda, and this is not what should be happening, so don't. And then, yeah, just tried to push it out another lap, and then the collision with Random showed up, and then it was a safety car after that.
Yeah. So I guess, yeah, just being able to take what you can get in the end. But again, congratulations on the hardest charger here today. Obviously sharing it with Enrico, who did finish only one position behind you. So congrats on the extra point.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So that wraps up our interviews for tonight's race. Crash, do you have anything to add before we wrap up here?
No, man, I've just been trying to put out fires in the Div 2 chat. It seems like we got some excitement there, so we'll have to tune into that and check that out once it's up on the YouTube channel. As it doesn't look like we're going to be able to live stream that right away, but you can check that race out on the YouTube channel, as I think the qualifying and the race is going to be put up in separate sessions here, so we'll have to let you know. It's a little bit new to us, so
I do believe we won't be able to stream both together on Twitch due to Division 1 obviously taking reins over the official Midwest F1 League Twitch account. So we will work out how we can stream Div 2, whether that just be on YouTube or another streaming service. But we will be sure to get back to everyone when we work it out. But yeah, I guess I'll just quickly wrap up and then you can take us home, Crash.
yeah, sounds good.
So, yeah, great race here in Australia. Plenty of ups and downs for a lot of drivers here today. Great opening race here in Division 1 for the Thursday night series here in the Midwest F1 League. I'm extremely happy with how this race has gone ahead, and can't wait for next week's race.
Yeah, as am I. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night for the multiplayer series that, of course, you run. Be sure to check out our YouTube channel and our Twitter and our Instagram, and you can catch all of our standings and whatnot and all the live links into this Twitch if you're not in here already, I guess, if you'd be watching this on YouTube. But be sure to go check out all those platforms. We'd very much appreciate all of your views and follows and all that good stuff. We're 3 away from 100, as I said, so please help us get there on Twitch, as that'd be an awesome milestone for us to get to, and we wouldn't have gotten there if it wasn't for all you people, including the racers and fans. So be sure to spread the word and say how much that you love this product that we ever so put out here on the Midwest F1 League. But that is about it for me here today. That's about it for the Midwest F1 League here on the Thursday night. we will see you all hopefully tomorrow, and if not, then we'll see you next week or wherever. So that's about it. That's all that's to be said. Have a good rest of your Thursday, and yeah, see you tomorrow.